Okay, so I'm finally launching a stove that requires less drilling. So today I want to show you guys how to assemble it. I hope the kits will be available like sort of really soon. So what you're gonna have a base piece with those like legs. You're gonna have a bunch of railings. You're gonna have the burners, and you're gonna have 3D printed handle and knobs. You're gonna have the grate and this top thingy. I'm gonna show you what it's for. You're gonna have the racks. You're gonna have the pieces to assemble a drawer with a bunch of like front pieces. I'm gonna show you what they are for. You're gonna have two side pieces, those two middle pieces. The same for the burners. The back piece, the door piece with the teeny tiny piece of acrylic. And you're gonna have the magnets. I don't have them here, but you're gonna have the magnets in the kit. And also for this stove, just like as an option, you're gonna have a piece of adhesive foil that sort of is in the shape of the door and everything, in case you wanna, well, make a stainless steel-ish looking door and stove. So that's what you can start with. So there are several things you can do in the beginning. First, you can glue the railings. You're gonna glue them to the back piece, and the side piece is gonna be, long and short railings. So you're gonna do that. What else? You're gonna take this top panel and glue the burners. You would probably want to paint everything first, but I am gluing the burners. You're gonna take those two panels and glue them together like so, and you're gonna assemble the drawer. Well, like all the drawers that I have in my kits, you're basically gonna connect those four pieces and attach the top over here. And what else you're gonna do, I forgot to mention, are gonna be magnets in the kits. So you're gonna glue those teeny tiny magnets in here. Two magnets are gonna fit in each hole because of the thickness of wood. So I normally slide them like that, and after that I apply Gorilla Glue first on one side, and then when it's dry I flip it and apply it on the other side. I would not paint all of that yet, except maybe the burners, because I'm gonna show you why I wouldn't do it. So what you can do while everything dries, you can take the piece of the acrylic and, it's more of a film actually, and attach it between the doors like that and glue all that together. And while all that dries, you can assemble the front panel, like glue it together with the back piece, the panel for the knobs, and two panels for the drawer. So while everything dries, what you can do, you can assemble the bottom piece with the legs. I made an engraving over here so that you can position them correctly. So you're gonna glue them in this thing, like two legs, and you're gonna put a tiny bit of glue so that they also glue together to each other. So the next thing you might want to do is attach the magnets to the door. So this panel is gonna look like that, so the door is gonna close like that. I assembled two stoves simultaneously, so whichever door, the idea is gonna be the same. So that means that the magnets in the door and here, they need to sort of, connect with them. So basically what I started doing recently, I take a huge pile of magnets and I see how I need to connect them, and after that I take the X-Acto knife and take, in this case, one magnet from the opposite side, because if you put in two, they're gonna sort of pop out a little bit and they're not gonna connect perfectly. So after that I check the polarity again and I flip it over and carefully slide the magnet inside the door, making sure the polarity is correct, and at the same time the magnet doesn't sort of stick out, Then I do the same on the other side, and then I use Gorilla Glue to make sure that the magnets stay in place. So after that you basically start assembling all the pieces together. The railings are going to be at the bottom. So the sequence is not important. So you're gonna do, well, not like I just tried to do, like that. Then you're gonna take one of the side pieces and attach it like that. And then you're gonna take this piece. Very important that, it's like that. So this rectangle thing looks at the bottom. And then there is only one way you can attach it. I honestly don't remember why it happened. But you need to make sure you attach it the correct way. Because like it's not gonna fit like that. Which means you're gonna have to attach it like that. Just make sure everything fits. Again, I don't remember what was the thought process behind it, but apparently there was something. And you glue those pieces together. And so what you're going to do after that, you're going to take one more side piece and you're going to carefully slide it in here. And at the same time, you're going to take the doors, you're going to flip it, magnets down, and you're going to, so you have to align everything with everything. So the door hinge thingies have to go in these holes. And both of them, and at the same time this rectangle thing has to go in the hole in this side piece. So everything needs to, I promise everything fits. Just sort of gonna have to, like, connect everything and align everything and all that. So yeah, like that, and that's what you have to end up with. Again, I'm assembling both stoves simultaneously, so if you bought a classic stove, the door is going to be different, but the concept is going to be the same. So what you can do after that, you can take this base piece you assemble and glue it over here like that. After that, you're going to take this panel and glue it over here like that. That's the panel that's going to like hold the door in place. So what you can do after that, while the magnets and everything dries, you can take this panel and glue it like that, aligning it with the sides of the stove. And after that, you can take the grate and glue it like that on top, trying to make sure that the burners are as much as possible aligned with the center of this grate. So what you can do after that, you can take this thing for the knobs and glue it over here, trying to make sure as much as possible that the gap between the door and this thing for the burners is equal throughout the whole stove. And while everything dries, you can glue those stainless steel panels up front. Again, they are optional, like you don't have to do that, and they only come with this modern looking stove, but basically the idea is that you glue it like that. You still have space for this panel where you can attach the screen. Just make sure everything is even as much as possible. So this is the panel for the door, and then there is this middle panel. It's for the drawer. So when it's dry, you can glue it. So far it's gonna look, well, pretty much like that. Not extremely even, I will be honest, but yeah, you can like re-glue it and everything. And this is going to be the panel for the drawer. So that's basically the idea of what you can get. You're still gonna need some panels for the sides and something for the legs, so it's sort of just like an option that I give in case you want to use it. And after that, you can use Gorilla Glue to attach the handle like that. And the knobs consist of two parts. One is called the well, and the one is the knob. Actually, they sort of imitate wolf knobs. So you glue one, and then you glue the other one inside of the first one. That gives you flexibility to paint them different colors, like let's say the base silver and this thing red. And that's what you get in the end. Just slide in those bricks. And the stove is done.